have such sights to show you.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Four Dead Losers podcast. We are the Four Dead Losers. I'm Rubio.
Adam.
Justin.
Jordan.
And today we're going to be talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Yay! Haunted Chuck E. Cheese. Jordan, this was your pick. Non-spoiler thoughts. What did you think of the movie?
It was different than I remembered it. I think coming off seeing Willy's, I expected it. In my mind, they were like copy and paste the same thing.
Yeah.
I think this one has a much different approach. It's more like,
You can say it's a bad approach.
compared to Nicolas Cage, this main guy's kind of, he's dealing with trauma and stuff, but he's not like a cool, badass dude. He's kind of just...
He actually speaks.
He's just there. He does actually speak. It's based on trauma or whatever. It has like a deeper undertone. It's not really like this just mysterious character.
Yeah.
We got real animatronics. I don't know if Willy's had real ones. I don't recall. There's no wild CGI scene. I'd like to put that. I'd like to put that as a pro.
Fairy crawling
I think. I guess wild CGI. Yeah, I think they did use CGI at some points though.
I think yes, part of it.
Like
was.
Foxy was CGI. I think.
No,
I can't
Foxy
remember.
was an actual robot.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
The cupcake was cool. I don't know the name of it. Hear me out.
I didn't know any of their names before watching this movie.
What?
Except for Freddy.
Yeah, I had to. They like dropped the lore in the movie, which is
Yeah.
Anyway, I like the filming quality better. Can I give that 1 point?
It's Blumhouse,
Literally, it's backed by a major company.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
All right,
I'm gonna give it a.
rating out of 10?
Since we're gonna get into the Willy thing, I'd like to remember that I gave Willy the 5 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10.
Adam, non-spoiler thoughts. What did you think?
Oh man, that was so hard to watch. I also don't remember it as I thought, and it was I think worse the second time. How do I put it? It's not like a bad movie. I want to make sure that's very clear. It's just very bland. Like there's just not a lot going on, and even what there is, like it just doesn't feel like it's fleshed out in a very like creative way. It just kind of just feels like, hey, here's a thing, and it has like a lot of very consistently like just kind of like you can see these things coming from a mile away tropes, and just kind of like not to say that all horror movies don't do that to some capacity, but I just wasn't a fan. I did really try to give it a chance, but I was watching it like 2 nights ago, and then I had to stop and then finish it today, and I was just like, it was so hard to get through. It was like kind of like a real push, and that's saying a lot coming from me because
the guy watches Evil Bong for fun.
I could
Watches Rubber.
I could get through other movies, but like this one felt like a little bit of a chore. Like I think if I had watched this and I didn't need to watch it for this, I think I would have changed it like pretty quickly. Not pretty quick. I think I would have changed it by like end of Act 1.
Yeah.
So, all right. Rating. I would say like a 4 out of 10. There were some positives that we'll get into that I did like. So I'm not going to poo-poo all over it because there were some good things. But just as a whole, I didn't really like it.
Okay. Non-spoiler thoughts, Justin. What did you think?
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I mean, I pretty much agree with both the points that they've been saying. Yeah, honestly, I was kind of disappointed because, like, coming from someone that actually kind of, like, has played the games and knows a little bit about, like, the lore itself, I think that I was extremely disappointed in the direction that they went with the movie itself. And they just kind of did their own thing with it, and I wasn't a big fan of it at all. And I agree, it was really hard to get through, especially watching it a second time. I was like, I don't remember it being this, like, bland. That's a perfect way to describe the movie. It's bland. Not, like, stuff happens, but it doesn't feel really impactful. It just feels like a chore to watch the whole thing. I didn't enjoy it at all, really. Some effects were good, but other than that, like, the actual story itself, I mean, it was... produced by Blumhouse, right? You know how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
I remember it being a lot better the first time.
I think James Wan would have knocked everything.
He would have did great with it. He would have threw more gore in there.
You would have seen the kids die.
Yeah.
You would have played some more Tiny Tim.
Yeah. With Freddy dancing.
What is the song they play? I hate that.
Tiptoe Through the Night.
No, the one. Who,
from
Talking
the
in your
movie.
sleep,
Yeah,
right?
Talking
Talking in your sleep.
Rating out of 10?
Oh man, probably like a 3.
Did they even play like the OG song? I can't even remember. That's not
No.
like border with. Like
I
his
think
main
at the
I can't.
in the credits they did.
Yeah.
Bro, they had that whole movie, and they didn't do that.
Yeah.
The Terrifier got his whole like 2 new theme songs, and they can't even find the one iconic theme from that.
They're saving it for the second.
They did.
Oh,
Thank you.
my.
He has a point.
I don't even know how you make a second after this one. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's stuff to expand on, but it's not gonna go anywhere that it should.
yeah.
I
Come
can
on, there was a
already tell.
post credit.
That was bad. That was the balloon boy.
Unless you were asleep by
Yeah.
I didn't know there was one. So non-spoiler thoughts for myself. I didn't enjoy the movie. Honestly, like I agree with what they're saying. One thing that I think isn't kind of important to know that I didn't realize until today, because I had to split up the movie. It felt like a chore for me too. I had to split it up and watch it in 3 separate sessions.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I didn't realize the movie was 2 hours.
It was pretty long.
Is it?
It's a 2-hour long
my.
movie. Yeah. And I was like, at some point, I think I had reached the halfway point. I was like, how much more fucking content do they have? And then I, like, you know how you pause it and it shows. And I was like, we're only halfway through the movie. Yeah.
I was like in medium. Remember we paused and we spent another hour and 15.
That was a long movie. That was like a 2.5
That
hour
was a
movie.
2.5
Right?
hour.
That was an Avengers
It's like
movie.
the Avengers movie.
So I didn't enjoy it. I mean, we'll probably get into this later too. I'm just not a fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise at
No.
all. Like I don't get it. Like what, PewDiePie played all of the games and
Yeah,
then
I
just
don't
took
know.
off from there. It's just
I
jump
mean,
scare the game. But
It's cool in theory. Like the actual games are kind of cool. The gameplay itself is just kind of basic, but I mean, we're not a video game podcast. So.
We'll get more into that.
Yeah.
So rating for myself, I honestly, I probably have to agree with Justin and give it like a 3 out of 10. Yeah. So, but it's okay because we're gonna get into the spoiler section of the movie. So we're gonna go. If you haven't watched the movie yet, feel free to go ahead and watch it and come back. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff so you can find this video later. But until then, or I guess, hey, we're in the spoiler section. So we're gonna get there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're gonna do the jump scare.
So a basic like rundown of what happens is we get introduced to our main character Mike. He's the guard, right? So the person you would play as if you were playing the video game. He has a little sister whose name is Abby, and their parents are gone, and so he takes care of her. And he kind of struggles to meet ends meet. His aunt is fighting for custody over Abby, and then he loses a job, shows up at Shaggy's office and is like, hey, I need a job. And Shaggy's like, I have this one thing, but it's at night. And he's like, nah, I'm okay. And then he comes back around, or else the movie would have just ended there.
Yeah. I will give it this. I mean, they did set up a pretty good, like, what is the term? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, a reason for him having to get the job, right?
That's fair.
Like,
Yeah.
that, I'll give them that, right? Like, I thought that was, like, fine, right? Because usually it's like, why would someone even do this in the first place, right? Like, in the original game, there's not really, like, there's no excuse as to why this guy would go back 5 nights after, right?
Being murdered. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
But, like, you know, this dude, like, has to, you know, take care of his sister. He's about to get evicted from his house, right? Like, he, like, he can't hold a job, you know? So he has, like, to resort to, like, this, like, awful job, right? So, like, I'll give him that.
Sounds like a good story.
That's one. That's one of the 3 stars that I gave it right there.
The story was all over the place.
It was
I feel like they tried to do way too
I
much.
thought the sister did her role pretty well. I thought like she was a pretty good like setup for I think it's good to note that like the sister is not just like, you know, just average young girl. It's like I think she does have like potentially like some mental things that are going on, and so like he has to take care of her. Like she's very big on like she just sticks to herself. She just does drawings all day. She doesn't eat. Like is very particular and picky about things. So like she does take like special care to be taken care of, and so that was important too with the whole brother versus aunt. Like he knows how to take care of her in a way that like is going to take care of her, whereas the aunt thinks she does, and obviously the girl doesn't want anything to do with the aunt because
even like Abby, she has like a therapist that we see a couple times in the movie, and she tells Mike like, hey, I see what I think it's her drawings or stuff like that, and Mike is in the center of all of them, and she what did she say, something about like
basically
you're her whole world, you're her whole
so even though she doesn't show it, like you are, so I thought she did really well. Protagonist, he does okay. I think he does the whole spaced out, confused thing well, which kind of stinks because your whole protagonist's whole thing is just constantly like just being out of it. Like I'm like, okay, that doesn't make me interested, like I don't know.
Vanessa's the real savior here.
Oh, she was terrible too. She was pretty bad.
So Vanessa is a cop who shows up and to like check on the restaurant is when we're first introduced to her,
which is dumb. Like she does. The whole movie I'm like, what does she do? Like she had didn't she supposed to be on patrol doing something, and she's just showing up and hanging out at Fozzie Fazbear's like the entire time.
This abandoned restaurant.
Yeah.
She acts as our lore dumper, right? She gives us some lore in the movie and stuff like that. When we find out that the animatronics are actually alive, I don't know if you knew that. She basically tells him what happened, right? That like the owner of the restaurant would kidnap kids, murk them, and then put their bodies in the animatronic.
Which we can get to that. That was one of my negatives on it with the whole like the reason they didn't find them. I'm like, no, that's like not a thing. Like I'm sure there was dogs and they would have easily found them. Like what do you mean?
Like, that doesn't smell like dead bodies.
Yeah, no, I know.
You see, when I remember, so I watched this movie when it had come out last year, and I didn't remember anything about it. It's that forgettable. When I was watching it again this time, I was like, oh, this guy, they couldn't find the kids. It didn't smell like dead bodies because he put them in the pizza. I was like, no, he put them in the fucking robots.
But again, no, a cadaver dog couldn't find it. No.
Is this a PG-13 movie?
Yeah.
That's what I was.
It feels like it.
Yes. So that was another thing. I think when it was originally announced, it was rated R. And then they moved it to PG-13.
I like that a lot more.
Because I think Blumhouse does a lot of PG-13 because they want to be.
They want that freedom
mass audience.
Yeah.
Well, they just want mass audience, but
and obviously, like they would have.
They want younger.
They want
people
because it's marketed towards them, right? Like that's like the fan, like that's the fan base now.
I don't know if I would have watched that as a younger person, I would have been like, this sucks. Like at least when I know it's highly debatable, but when I want to go see Watchmen, I actually did really enjoy it. I was like, this is a really good movie. It's actually very close to like the novel, and like I was really happy about that. If I was a kid now, like, I'd play Fozzie Fazbear, let me go watch this, I would have been like, bro, this movie's trash.
I don't know what the kids thought of it, honestly. Maybe they just liked it because of the name and the characters, right?
Oh, and then it's like, and then they use Matthew Lillard, and like people like the younger generation doesn't really know him. They don't know him from Scream. They don't know him from Shaggy.
Shaggy. Everybody.
That's why it attracted the older audience, right? They're like, I don't want to go see this dumb movie. And they're like, oh, Matthew Lillard's in it.
That was actually a big thing. That was like people that like actually because of that. They're it's gonna be good because he's in it. He signed off on it. It's like. I'd sign off on it too if I get paid.
Yeah, for real, right?
Hey, it made like $250 million.
It made a ton of money.
The PG-13 paid off.
I bet it did.
Terrible. How much money is the second one gonna make? I guarantee you it tanks at least 100 mil. I think it hits. I think it hits maybe 150 if that. I think it's gonna hit like close to 110.
Mark this right here. You said 150.
215.
215 million.
Yeah.
What was the original? 250.
I'll find the exact number.
Okay.
I can't imagine it hitting that. I'm about to say a lot of the movies have been pretty low. I don't even think 250 is a common number for most, like just normal generic movies.
First one did 291 million.
Oh,
worldwide.
Definitely ain't doing that. Who's watching that?
I don't know.
Let me see. Okay, so we find out that, eventually we find out that the animatronics are alive. And then so Mike, the entire movie is dealing, just like Adam was saying, with some childhood trauma. He witnessed his younger brother get kidnapped. And his younger brother's name is Garrett. So every time he goes to sleep, he has the same dream about Garrett being taken away. Forcibly taken away. When he starts sleeping on the job, he is visited by what we find out are the dead kids.
Yeah.
And they basically make an exchange, right? That that Mike will get more information in his dream if the dead kids can have Abby.
Yeah.
And then that's where we kind of get the whole thing about Mike trying to save Abby from the whole crew, whatever the fuck their names are. And yeah, that's the movie.
That's pretty good sum of the movie.
But then the plot twist. Come on, the plot twist.
Oh, okay, you're right. It turns out that Shaggy is the one who kidnapped all the kids. Wow, and
the cop was her daughter.
Vanessa's his daughter.
See, Mike and Vanessa were connected the whole time. They have the same trauma from the same person. Two timelines meant to collide.
It would be pretty bad.
Like the multiverse.
It's like one of those, again, you see it coming from a mile away.
And then I realized there's since we've kind of did a quick rundown, compared to Willy's, there's not really a lot of action.
There really isn't. There's two maybe.
And half of it is off screen. They just show you and you just have to use your imagination, which is, I think that for a horror movie is really bad. When you don't get to see, and then again, to an extent, right? You don't have to see gore and stuff, but if you don't actually get to see something happening, somebody getting taken away or something happening to them,
it's just the jump scares, right?
And that's what makes PG-13 somewhat susceptible for being bad, is that they have to limit themselves to certain things, and they I don't know, they just don't get very creative with doing it.
See, I don't know about that because I haven't seen the second one, but Smile 1 is PG-13, and they showed a lot. It was...
Well, again, I think the problem is, because...
1408's PG-13, that's a good movie.
Which one?
1408.
Apartment 1408 or 1408?
That movie
was
hotel room with
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying all PG-13s are bad. I'm saying that's what makes PG-13s can go really one way or another really fast, depending on how uncreative they are with doing the stuff on screen and what they're willing to show. Because again, they want to hit their mark, I guess, or whatever. But I thought the Ring, when it came to America, I thought that one was decent.
Is that PG-13?
Yeah.
What?
PG-13. Grudge PG-13.
Imaginary PG-13.
Bruh.
Which one?
Imaginary is 8.5.
Oh, that's a 1. That's a 1 movie right there. Oh my god. That should have been a PG movie. They could have got away with that. They could have put PG in, it would have been fine.
I'm not saying that was the worst thing that happened. The lady just broke her ankle when she fell. Right?
The smiley face, it turned upside down.
That movie's so
do that in Toy Story.
I don't remember.
Hey, it was creative.
It was not creative, it was bad.
But yeah, even in this movie, you get to the end and Vanessa and Mike don't really do shit.
Yeah.
Abby's the one who basically gets the animatronics to turn on Shaggy.
Yeah.
And then
and then we don't even see what they do to him, right? His own suit starts caving in. He's the yellow rabbit.
The cupcake attacks him, and then it starts
the yellow suit starts to come in on his rib cage, and we see him. We see the animatronics lead him or drag him to the back, but they just leave him there.
He puts his head on and he says, I'll always come back. So he basically set himself back.
We're getting a trilogy, come on.
Honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt a trilogy.
So bad.
I wouldn't doubt it.
6 out of 10. Come on.
6 out of 10.
That's bad. That's awful. But no, it's a really bad movie.
It's pretty bad.
I will say Willy's wasn't PG-13, so you actually got to see the kills and stuff, which was a lot more entertaining on that aspect.
Yeah.
And I also feel like Willy's felt like a lower budget film, almost in a good way.
It was enjoyable.
It was a lower budget, but they matched out with what they had.
Yeah.
I think here they put a lot of their budget into like some cinematography. So I guess we can go into what the pros now if you want. Like I think
that's fine.
so. Like for the pros for me, I think again the budget definitely showed. Like the animatronics had a decent look. I definitely wasn't a fan of it sometimes, but I could see that's where most of the money went.
I thought they looked good. That was probably one of my pros too.
They're people in suits.
I know.
They are right.
I don't know. I don't know if it. I don't
Except
know.
for Foxy.
Maybe it's just my
That's it.
eyes. My eyes and like the color scheme or how the coloring looks against the. Like, I don't know, like, you know how sometimes they can adjust the lighting on the cameras and stuff, so maybe they look one way, but on camera with a certain lighting, they look another way. Like, I feel like, it almost felt like they were touched up, like, whenever they were actually put, like, in the movie versus, like, being how they normally would look. I don't know, it just felt, there was some, to me, my eye.
They look kind of cartoonish.
There were a couple of shots where
Cartoonish,
they
yeah,
didn't
they look
yeah.
cartoonish, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's their colors. You know, that's how they look.
No, I get that. I don't know how to explain it, but like you're saying, it's just, to me, without lack of better terms, it's kind of looking cartoonish and not as real as I think they could have. Like, I almost wish it kind of had more of a real look, where maybe they were maybe slightly lower budget, because then I feel like it would have gotten a little bit more like scarier vibe, or like a little bit more like kind of, I don't know.
Or they could have made them look more like, right? Because like this thing was like in the 80s, right? Like this, how do they look so like? Maybe it's because they look so fresh, right? That's why, right? They look brand new, right?
Yeah.
This is a thing that closed down in the 80s. It's been closed forever, right? They should look more like slightly decrepit at least, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the color has faded on like the animatronics and everything like that.
Yeah.
Maybe some parts of it they look scruffed up a little bit. It didn't have to be like completely like.
Right.
Yeah, but I agree.
It didn't look
mean.
good. I'm not saying it looked bad. It's just my eye I didn't like it, but I'm not gonna say it looked bad.
They're feeding on the ghost bodies.
They're regenerate. Yeah.
I'm making my own lore.
Yeah, honestly, stupid.
I do agree. I don't know if it was like, because like there's parts where like their eyes glow or whatever. I'm assuming those were added in.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's also what kind of gave it this like.
I didn't really care too much for the eyes. I get what their purpose was though.
So, in the game, this is the thing that people actually really complained about. Like when they first saw like the eyes, they were all red like that. In the trailer, right? Everybody was like really mad because in the actual game, the eyes go like dark black as opposed to like this red, and they wanted them to do that, and I feel like that would have been scarier as well, like in the game. So I don't know. That's just.
I wonder if they could have done that with the lighting. The lighting was so dark.
They could have put like. I mean, they could have switched up.
You complained about like the orange. This one had like the twilight, like dingy blue. Like everything was like kind of like, what is that? I don't even know what color that is, but basically it's like everything's like it's overcast.
It's almost like they tried too hard.
It's
they spent too much money.
I know what you mean. I like that look though. Maybe not for this movie, but
I think that's why you couldn't do the black, because there were so many times where like the eyes, I think they would have lost that color pop because it's so dark. I think they needed the red to really pop.
But it looked bad. I think it ended up making it look worse. They probably shouldn't have just done the eyes at all.
We got the little kid with the black coming out of the eye.
Yeah, see, that's like...
Right. Or one of the dream sequences, like it's one of like the 3 jump scares in the movie. There's a little kid, his eyes are all bloody, and he's like, ah!
Yeah. It was
the screaming goat.
They stole a machine from Jigsaw in the beginning.
They did.
Oh yeah,
I put Saw Jr.
in my notes. So there's a part where, what's the name of the chicken?
Chica,
where Chica takes Abby to the back and is about to like murk her or whatever. I put almost puts her in saw trap.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And I don't get why. Like, I don't get what the point of that thing was. Well. No, the one that they were gonna put her in makes sense. The other one, I don't know what it was supposed to be. That literally just looked like a trap.
Yeah. It's like for the audience, it's like a helmet, right?
Like
a Fozzie Fazbear or whatever, and the inside has just a bunch of buzzsaws.
Yeah, which I don't get the point of that, but
we got the babysitter getting eaten in half. That was the best part.
Oh yeah, Max? She got chomped in half. That was only a good death.
Could have showed the shadow.
They could show the shadow. Or something. Yeah, it just dropped.
They risked it all.
They should have just showed it. They should have bumped it up to an R. They really could have. They really made this thing.
I think it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, I think it would have been a lot better if it was a rated R film. But
the problem is they know, like you're saying, they know what their audience was, and so they didn't want to limit it, which I think kind of sucks, because
just take the freaking kid to the rated R movie. They do that shit all the time.
The thing is, like,
That's
the
true,
game
you
came
know,
out.
People were complaining about the Terrifier. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah,
I saw a bunch of kids in there. I was like, what the
I saw
hell?
people were buying tickets to the Wild Robot and then sneaking into Terrifier.
Yeah, I'm about to say
saw
some places they were saying that like they would like even if you were with the parent they wouldn't let people they wouldn't let the like if you were younger than 17 in. I'm like,
I mean, it's not rated, right? So it's like, it makes sense.
I'm gonna say I snuck in to see when it first came out. What was that movie?
Joker 2.
Superbad.
But that's a rated R movie. That's a
true.
little different.
Yeah.
Because not rated, I think the way that it goes is rated R is you can get in there if you're accompanied by a parent, right? But
Yeah.
not rated is you're not allowed to be in there if you're under 17 at all. That's the thing.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
The
Yeah.
theater we go to, they don't even track anything. You go upstairs and it's like you can just go wherever you want.
I'll check you downstairs. Then.
That's funny. Yeah, I get ID'd. When I wear sweaters, because it gets
Right.
cold.
They're like little boy.
Yeah.
That was 4 times I was there.
When I went to both times I went to go see Long Legs, they f***ing ID'd me.
And you were saying, what did you say? Let me in now. Let me in now.
Yeah.
So I find it hard to find a positive for this movie. I'm going to be honest. To find a positive for this movie, I do think that one of the positives that I did find was that the actress who played Abby, I thought she did really
Yeah,
good.
That's a good child.
good.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, yeah, to be fair, it's kind of hard to find childhood actors sometimes.
Yeah.
And, like, she did good.
Yeah, I thought she did really good in her role.
Yeah.
I believed her for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah, she was good. I think, here's the thing, other than a few of the actors and actresses, and we can get to that when we get to the cons, but I thought a lot of them did the best that they could with what they got. I think that's the
Yeah.
other thing we have to remember is that there's not a whole lot there for them to get out of it, right? Like if you actually like sit down and look at the lines and all this stuff, yeah, some of the deliveries are pretty bad.
Yeah,
but
I
it
was gonna
just-
say a lot of it looks like the dialogue feels forced, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't feel
it's like
natural.
NPC dialogue.
Yeah, honestly.
But-
This movie's bad.
But I thought I would be a pro for me. I thought like the actors and actresses for the most part, outside of a few that we'll name in the cons, that they did the best that they could. Like I felt like they tried. You know, it wasn't like no, they're just a bad actor or a bad actress. It was like no, there's not a lot there to go off of. Who was the director for this, by the way?
Okay, I can
kinda
look
wanna
it
know
up
who
if you
that
want to
is.
say.
So we can trash on it.
Yeah. I
Hey.
don't know who the director was.
The lawyer is a pro. Come on.
No, Lord.
That's
I think if he was sweating a little bit more, I feel like he needed more sweat.
His direction
He needs to pull out the thing. Like,
He was sitting in that booth trying to get out.
Yeah, he was. That was the best character right there.
The lawyer. He only had 2 scenes.
So the movie was directed by Emma Tammy.
Okay.
I'm looking up what else she
I
did.
don't know. I don't
I
know.
know what she.
So she directed Five Nights at Freddy's. She's set to direct the sequel to this one.
Well,
Yeah,
Definitely wanna
why
watch
wouldn't she, right?
I don't know if there's any of these other ones that you know. Bloodline, The Wind, Blood Moon.
Never heard of any of these.
See, in my mind, I would say a pro is that I like that it's more of an emotional take on it, I guess. Even though, I don't know.
So they could have done so many things with the. There's so much stuff you could have done with the actual like game that there's emotional stuff in the game. Like you could have, they took a bunch of like liberties that were different, and I can go over them later, right? Like they just don't make any sense as to why they like did that. Like, and I don't get why people do that. Like, and it happens, and it's not just this, but it happens in a lot of like video game adaptations. So they'll just be like, oh, we're gonna take the name and just run with a different direction, right? Like,
And they could have chosen one thing for
they
the
could
game and stuff.
well, they could have just followed the lore of the actual game, right? But they're like, no, we're gonna like do our own thing.
The game room is better than Willy's. That's what I said. That's a pro.
The game room.
Hey, we got 3 pinball machines.
We
Come on.
did, and I think Foxy broke them right as he was
I was
walking
waiting for
through.
Nicolas Cage to walk out, man.
To be fair-
crossover.
I mean, you don't see a lot of the Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria's like playroom. It had a bigger playroom than Willy's Wonderland. I'm just saying. There was more rooms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like 5 rooms that you could play in Willy's Wonderland. This one is like 1 room.
Mike's not good at a lot of things, but he cleaned that room quicker than the janitor would.
That's
No.
well.
No.
No, he cleaned it in one night.
He
He cleaned it in one night.
Not only did he clean the whole thing in one night,
The janitor is faster.
and he dirtied them all after cleaning them. So really, he cleaned the whole thing twice, and then in one night.
He got a cool security vest. Come on.
He got T-shirts, unlimited supply
He
T-shirts.
did, yeah.
And they built a fort.
They did. With the animatronics, they built the fort.
Yeah, that was
And he had the 1980 nature sound player.
Yeah. Which,
Is there even? Do we see like a normal smartphone in this movie at all?
I don't know. I don't think phones are a thing.
I don't know. They all have landlines. Does this movie still take place in like the 2020s?
so in the
I think so.
in the actual game, I think the first game takes place in the 90s. So
Probably wasn't.
it would make sense for this to take place in the 90s too, but I don't know.
We gotta go back and look at.
Now we gotta watch the
cars.
whole movie again and see if we see a cell phone.
Yeah, honestly, because like I mean that's kind of a good
How does
point.
the babysitter call the guy?
Oh, it is like in the 90s.
Or no, how does the
yeah,
guy call the
he
babysitter?
calls her on the landline.
Calls her on the.
Because she doesn't answer, right? He's
Yeah.
like, he's calling on the landline. He's like, all right, I guess I gotta take her to work, right?
I'm gonna have to rewatch it now.
Yeah, it takes place in the 90s. No. Well, it doesn't. It's not explicitly said, right? But it takes place in a
Probably like early
Right.
2000 before
cell phones were really a thing.
Really
yeah.
a thing because at that point I would have just texted her. right?
Yeah.
And his tires didn't pop. Come on.
His tires didn't
His
pop.
tires didn't pop. You would have thought, right? All that broke money he has, like, right? They would have popped on their own, right? No.
He's good at fighting people's dads, apparently.
Oh yeah, he could beat up a normal person, but can he beat up an animatronic? That's what we should have saw right there in the movie.
He had little kids bullying him in his dream.
He did. So he's not. So obviously this is janitor one, Mike 0, right?
I think that's what, like, after seeing Willy's. Yeah, the
The
approach
movie's
is
just-
completely
Yeah,
different.
this Willy's is just so fun to watch, right? I know you didn't really enjoy it that much, but it's a lot more enjoyable than.
It is a lot more.
So he
It doesn't
wasn't-
take itself seriously. It's Nicolas Cage kicking ass, which
I
is what
know.
it needs to be.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really don't know who this movie was supposed to be for, right? Like I don't know. Yeah,
It's still
yeah.
better than Willy's. I have to stick by
No.
it.
It's alright. You can share. We nobody will fault you for
when
saying
we
that
hit
this is
stop
better.
recording up.
It's not good. Like I don't know.
Okay, cons for me. I know we've been talking. We did pros and then immediately cons after.
We did one pro if there
Yeah.
was.
Two pros.
two
Abby
pros.
was good.
Yeah.
I mean,
The lawyer.
I would say the cons.
lawyer.
The big one for me was like just the daughter, the cop basically. That she just, I don't know, man. She was just so bad in terms of like dialogue and delivery. Like I think the worst scene that really set it apart for me, where I was just like, yeah, no, this movie's really bad, was the whole like they have a sequence where. First of all, like Mike's like, yo, like I don't think she should be playing with these animatronics. Aren't they dangerous? And she's just like, no, I'll be fine, whatever, and let's go do this. And then they're doing something, and then like as she's gonna go touch the what is it, the whatever has the guitar, the
yeah.
box, and she like she sees her and she's like, no, and she touches it and it like blows up in her face. She's like a whole as a whole thing. Anyways. So the daughter gets knocked out. They wake her up and she's all out of it. And they're like, "Oh, don't worry, you just had an accident." And they cue to them outside, and he's trying to talk to the cop or whatever. And she gets mad at him. "You better never bring her here again. I'm gonna shoot you." And I'm just like, "You were the one that like, yeah, no, let's just build a fort and hang out. It's all good."
She like goes along with it the whole time.
No, she
Yeah.
encourages it, and
Yeah.
then if you bring her back again, I'll kill you. It's like, and we see it figure out why, but it's just one of those like, you knew it was a problem. Why are you? I don't know. It's just one of those dumb moments. And again, I'm sure somebody will defend. Oh, it's because she knew what was going on, and she knows that the robots aren't really that bad. Because that was the thing. The whole premise was the robots are really not bad. It's Damien Lillard Shaggy is making them bad. The Yellow Rabbit is making them bad because they don't remember that he was the one that like took him out. That took him out. So like they have to do his bidding because they think like he's their friend. That's all they remember is the good times.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ending was her just putting the picture of like, oh, here's the bad
Yeah.
rabbit and this is what he did to you. And then they all remember. They're like dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
one picture you remember, he's like, "Bzz, oh yeah,"
And then he dies.
and
Then
he
he
dies.
dies, yeah. That's so stupid.
That's the plot.
I was gonna say something, I forgot, so it doesn't matter.
I don't know. The whole movie's a con, right? The whole movie's just one big con, right?
Like, yeah.
Everything, like story. Like again, the story. So these are okay. I'll start. Maybe I'll delve into some differences here. Like first off, like in the game, it's actually I believe Michael is the son of William Afton, not Vanessa. So Vanessa is actually I don't even like. So there's like what 10 games.
Really?
There's like 10 games, right?
I thought there was only 3.
How do you make
There's
the
like
same,
10
the same game? Like
there's
you
like
just
10
put a
games,
different
yeah.
background. It's like a different.
There's like 8 or 9, yeah, 8 or 9 games. I don't know. I think it's 8, maybe. Right at this point, it's
Fact,
probably
this
10.
game
Right?
has lore. Is ridiculous.
So
That's like Tetris having lore.
I have bad news for you, bud.
is there Tetris lore?
I'm pretty sure there is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's one thing. So Mike actually does have a brother, right, in the actual game too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the kid's name. I don't know if it's Garrett or whatever. It's not really relevant. But and this would have been actually pretty cool because this is like one of the most iconic things in like Five Nights at Freddy, right? It's known as what's called the Bite of 87, Bite of 83, something like that, right? One of those years. So what?
There are 19 games in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise.
So-
How many are mainstream though?
11 are the main series.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure some of them are like DS games.
They're like, yeah,
They had
don't
11
get
games to pull from.
I don't
Yeah.
get it.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like Vanessa
How
doesn't
do you
even
have
come
more
out to like
games than
the
Kingdom
8th
Hearts?
game. I don't know. It's not hard to make it, right? It's like Flash or something. I don't fucking know.
It's the same game,
Yeah.
copy and pasted.
He's just
There's more games
Yeah.
than Kingdom Hearts, and
Yeah.
and I'm including all the times they remade the same game.
Does
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts have a movie though?
No,
I mean, it is a movie.
Yeah,
It is a
actually,
movie.
yeah, it's pretty much a movie, right? They released the movie version.
I mean, you literally watched the entire movie for Frozen, like
Yeah.
recently.
honestly, yeah, just
Actually,
a bunch of
every
Disney-
world is just every
you
watch
just
the
watch the
entire
Disney
movie.
movie, yeah. Except with the characters watching it with you. Right? That's the whole
And
thing.
then Woody telling off Sephiroth.
Yeah, that's the word.
Okay, what were you saying about Vanessa?
She doesn't even like show up until like the 8th game, right? She's not even relevant, and she's not even related. As far as I know, I don't think she's related to William Afton. Like I said, I fell off with the lore years ago, but at this point she might be. I don't know. What's his name? Scott Cawthon. He was cool with, I guess, writing his lore or whatever, but he's definitely one of those people that kind of like, I feel like was writing as he went. He was like making a bunch of plot holes for himself, so he's like, oh, I gotta find a way to fill this and fill this and fill this. And like, again, it worked out for a while. Like, he kind of, made a decent story with it, but the way that he just kept expanding it, I think kind of just made it kind of, it was its own demise, right? Like him writing so much about it, and I think a lot of things suffer from that, right? Not just that, but I mean, it could have been really good. Like I said, there's some iconic things happen in the game that they didn't even put in this. Like that's what people were probably wanting. Like again, that Bite of 83.
Yeah, what's the stupid balloon boy thing? What is that? Like,
He's one of the animatronics. Like he's not an animatronic. He's like a thing in the game. He's a mechanic in the game.
So he's like the pit thing from Fallout or what?
Or
the pit boy or vault boy.
You gotta watch number 2.
You gotta. He's
Not watching
he's
it.
not an animal. I don't think he's one of the kids. I think he might be one of the kids too. But like that, the actual thing in the movie isn't really relevant to like the game part of it. It's just a little cameo, I guess, if you will, right? It has nothing to do with like the actual movie, I'm sure. But no, they could have easily made this movie a lot more horrific. Like I said, Bite of 83, right? The thing that happens in the game, which is kind of what kind of does the whole thing. Again, William Afton that's the thing that was consistent. He's a serial killer, right? He does the same thing. But there's another guy in it too named Henry something. They're like, and that was the guy that was really obsessed with like animatronics, and that's why they had like this whole thing. Because William Afton was obsessed with like families and stuff like that, right? And wanted to do that. He was really a serial killer, and the other guy was obsessed with making animatronics. So he would make these suits, and that's why. And that alludes to why. What's his name? Matthew Lillard. William Afton dies at the end, right? Because the suit malfunctions, and that's what happens, like in the game, and that's kind of what they do in the game, that's like what happens when you die, right? They don't actually like do whatever the fuck that they did in the movie, right? So in the actual game, when you die, what's implied, what happens is they grab you and they put you in the suit, albeit what they were trying to do to Abby. And like the way that these like suits work is they were like supposed to be these high-tech animatronic suits at the time, right? Which had like this spring lock mechanism which would keep you in there. And I don't know, it was like high-tech, right, and stuff like that, but it malfunctions, and that's when it would like pierce your ribs and everything like that, and it would like pretty much snap your whole body in there shut. And I know I keep going back and forth and I'm going everywhere with it, but the Bite of 87 was Mike's brother. He was teasing his brother, right? And like these little animatronics that were there, right? The Five Nights at Freddy's machines, animatronics were there. And he was teasing his brother because his brother was scared of animatronics. And he grabs his brother and he puts him in the mouth of the animatronic. And the animatronic malfunctions and it bites like the kid. Essentially what happens to like that girl, I guess. Nice. So I guess that was, the Bite of 87, but it's not like, I don't know. Again, they could have made it a lot darker for what it was. And I don't know why they went this direction where he's like, oh, my brother got taken and stuff like this.
He just got kidnapped.
He just got kidnapped by Will. I'm assumed he got killed, right, by Will and Afton as well. But, like, it just doesn't make any sense, I guess. I mean, it's like the same plot, but, like, different, right? It's like they're taking these different liberties, which I don't get why.
Because then if he got... This is something I barely thought of. If he got kidnapped, why isn't he one of the animatronics? Or is he? Well, no, he would know.
He's not. Again, it's like, I don't know, but
he's a cupcake the whole time.
Yeah, he's a cupcake. Yeah,
Garrett the cupcake.
Garrett's the cupcake. Yeah, I don't know. It's dumb. It really is dumb. It's dumb. The game itself's convoluted too, but it would have at least been better.
Sounds like the game has better ideas.
It does. It really does. It does. It comes from the creator himself, right? This is like that guy's passion project, so he would know, right? And I think this is just kind of the problem that happens in general, going back to what I was saying earlier, when you try to adapt like a video game into a movie. For some reason, Hollywood loves to do this thing where they just take their own liberties with it. It happens like in every movie. The only good thing that I've ever seen it happen to really was like Sonic, right? That was like the only time I thought it was like pretty fun.
That was after the people bullied Sony to
but like, it's like its own thing, right? It's like its own like Sonic story, and it's like it works, right, for what it was. And that's the only time
I haven't seen Sonic.
Sonic was good.
The new one's like a CGI, right? So
it's
like,
animated.
It's animated, so it's like it's different. I wouldn't consider it. I mean, I guess you could consider it a video game adaptation. Yeah, I mean, it works too. They did good with them, but most video game adaptation movies like Resident Evil.
I liked the show. The show was good.
Was it? I heard it was bad.
I liked it. It was good.
Was it?
Yeah. People just hating.
I don't know.
We're reviewing the show.
Yeah,
I heard a show
episode by episode.
Yeah.
I heard it wasn't good. Same thing with, Silent Hill, again, it's one of the better adaptations, but again, it takes its own liberties for some reason.
Well, Silent Hill also, like, each character has their own thing.
Yeah, it's based off the first game, though, and it, like I said, it does these, like, weird liberty things, and it has, like, these cash grab moments in it, too. If you play, like, the actual games, you're like, oh, like, Pyramid Head's not in the first game. They just threw him in there because everybody's like, oh, I love Pyramid Head so much, right? And they made him all muscular and they made him all tall and whatever. But that's not how he is. He's this fucking average height, like lanky character.
The pyramid makes him average height.
Exactly. It's not, but they took their liberties, and I think that the second one was even worse. Silent Hill. Doom's not good either. Doom wasn't good. I don't know what other video game movies that did.
Obviously, the Mario movie's the most notoriously bad one.
The original one,
the original one. I'm trying to think. I guess there is some other good ones, but they're not like they don't stand out like as the greatest thing in the world, right? Like I'm trying to think what other ones there have been. All of these, most of them are going to be action or horror. It's not going to be any like sad movies. Oh well, it wasn't a movie, but like TV show adaptations now, like The Last of Us.
Okay, that was good. That was really good.
It's hard to mess that one up. Like it's perfectly written.
They could have easily messed it up. I feel like if they made it into a movie, they would have messed it up because they would have had to jam like that whole story into like 2 hours, and they would have just. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the problem with like, trying to put something into like such a small amount of time. Yeah, like a game into like this. Maybe the fix is making it a show.
Borderlands was a huge.
That was awful. I never even saw it. And I just knew it was awful.
Detective Pikachu was good.
Detective Pikachu was good.
Never seen it.
It was okay. It was okay.
I still think that Pikachu should have been. Yeah, Danny DeVito should have been Pikachu.
That would have been good. That would have been better.
It should have just been his head painted yellow.
It was yeah. He just
said leopard costume.
Like George Lopez in that Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah, that would have been great. No, I don't know, but
there were some. I feel like there's some earlier ones are obviously missing.
Mortal Kombat.
See, those weren't good either.
Oh, hold on, no. Those were a product of their time. The '90s was a lawless time of just not very good movie adaptations of anything.
They were good.
They were okay.
They were bad.
They were okay. What do you expect from a Mortal Kombat movie? What do you expect? Do you know what the game is? They just fight each other. And then
there's lore. There's Mortal Kombat lore.
Nobody cares about that lore. They just want to fight.
I guess. Then I don't know. They could have made it. They could have made it better.
The first one. The first one hypes me up. You know what made the first one was it was pure '90s fun because of like the little like electric techno backtracks. Like fighting, and it's like all this like just like club music, and I'm just like, man, that hypes me up. Like these fight scenes. Go back. Those fight scenes are impeccable. The dude that plays Shang Tsung, perfect, everything. Now the second one, that one's bad. The second one's bad. Second one's actually really bad.
The remake's bad too.
The remake, remake was
The remake's bad.
They kind of that I'm mad they messed up because the YouTube one actually that spun off before it that they made the movie based off of was actually decent, and then they ruined it. It was like, oh, this new movie since it was so good, and it's like. Because they did it poorly again, of course. Like I don't even remember how they did it. It was just dumb.
I like how we just spun away from Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, because the question one of our topics was like where does it rank in video game movie history, and did this game actually deserve a movie? Like I think it was probably. I would say it's in the middle of the pack only because it had a good backing from a studio, and there were some things that like. Were okay and appeased to probably their fan base that is younger, but like for an older fan of like horror, not a fan of the game necessarily, but like just kind of was just like meh. Like,
coming from a fan of the game, it's at the bottom. Like it's like.
But you're saying it's just as bad as Mario.
Okay, look.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're asking. What is it?
It's hard. It's hard to beat Mario like the worst thing ever, right? Like that.
It's better than
Mortal Kombat. You have
Was
to.
it better than Mortal Kombat? Was it better than Resident Evil?
Somebody played Borderlands right now.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil is bad.
No,
it's not.
It's just not.
Five Nights at Freddy. I would rather watch Resident Evil over Five Nights at Freddy for sure. 100%. I will watch the whole series over watching Five Nights at Freddy again.
What about the Assassin's Creed movie?
Okay, I never saw it. Okay, I never saw it, but I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
That one was pretty rough. Hey, you know what? The Hitman movie was okay.
I never saw that one.
That's a good game. Hitman.
I've never seen Hitman. I never played.
You should play it.
The games are fun. The games are pretty fun, actually.
You basically like. It's like a purpose of it.
I know the premise. I've never played.
It's cool. They're really fun.
You get to be creative and come up with your own ways to see if you can get away with it. My favorite is he just puts on a hat and nobody recognizes him.
After he takes him down, he takes someone down. Right, they're like, "Hey!" He's like, he's still bald. Right? He has the big barcode on the back. But no. So I never saw him, but I don't know. I can't vouch for that. It's better than Mario, right? It's better than Mario.
The animated or the live action?
Live action. The animated one's pretty good. It's pretty good. I consider that its own thing. Because, right, like, I think if anything was able to be animated, it's because
it takes more of the IP than based on.
Exactly. You can mess up an animated, but it's harder because, right, that's like its own like realm of like.
Was it better than Angry Birds?
Was there an Angry Birds movie?
There's
It was
two.
like two. Yeah,
What?
it's like two, bro.
Okay, I don't know. I figure it's somewhere around there, maybe, right?
They should have made this movie animated only.
They could have made it animated. They could have. They probably would have fixed it, maybe, right? They could have made it gorier, more.
Cast Markiplier in it.
Yeah, they could have put Markiplier in it.
They have a YouTuber, right, who comes out in this one. I think he's the waiter.
Maybe, I don't even know.
Oh, shit,
I think they
maybe,
do.
Oh,
He has like a cameo. In my
You know
notes,
who
I
had the best
put,
cameo?
I put washed up YouTuber.
No, you know who's the best cameo? The guy that does the one that was in Cocaine Bear, the one that. Does
Oh,
all the,
yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead, do it. Does that guy?
I've still never seen Cocaine.
Cocaine Bear
I
is
never saw it.
amazing.
I heard it was
It's
good. I heard it was good.
It's fantastic. I
I heard
love
it was
Cocaine
good.
Bear. Don't go in expecting a great movie.
Yeah,
No, it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Not like.
It's like Five Nights at Freddy's. Not Five Nights at Freddy's. It's
It's
like
a, wasn't that
Willy's Wonderland.
that's
It's
a
like that
Universal
kind of
Bags
thing.
movie, right?
Yeah, I
So-
think so.
It's a
Yeah.
good movie.
Cocaine Bear is amazing.
I think this game deserved a movie.
I think it
probably
did,
a
but not
better
the movie. Yeah, it deserved the movie. It like I was actually hyped when it first got announced. I was like, oh, that's gonna be dope. And then I was like, I should have known, right?
Let's reboot it
But
already.
let's try this. Let's try this. If that deserves a movie, do those stupid other games like Benny Loves You and all that deserve a movie? Those
Benny
ones
Loves You?
Or what is it? Like those weird, like, what is the thing with the red?
Bendy's Ink Machine.
I don't know, not Ben, no, it's Bendy's. No, what is that thing called? The like sock face thing with the big.
Oh, Poppy's Playtime.
Poppies, yeah.
Oh.
I would say that in my opinion, that falls under the same category.
But I feel
I
like
don't
that's more
know.
like kid oriented.
Like there, I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's now kid oriented too.
But I feel like it didn't start that way. I feel like people in
It
my
didn't.
generation.
It didn't, but yeah, it went that way. I don't know. I would watch it, maybe.
It's
Possibly.
like, does Minecraft need a movie?
it doesn't.
It doesn't- how do you? Okay, that's the question, right? How do you make that a movie, right? Like,
Put
You
Jack
don't. It's
Black
already
in it?
bad. It's already bad.
I mean, like,
what are you supposed to do, right?
you're
Like-
supposed to defeat the Ender Dragon.
Yeah, I guess, right? That's like.
So I guess we're talking about video game movies, right? So Minecraft, I think, would be a good movie if the entire. Well, first off, if the entire thing was animated.
Yes.
And you didn't have this weird like Jason Momoa with long hair and with the f***ing sheep. That's all.
Yeah.
That is Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
I thought so. I saw the trailer
Jason
and I thought.
Momoa. It's like, what the
I
heck?
don't
That's
know.
our Aquaman.
Oh. man.
But
I don't like this. It looks really out of place, right?
Steve's like 70 years old.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's Jack Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, look. How do you like? I was gonna say it'd be kind of like what do you? I don't know.
Would you watch a Warhammer movie?
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
Well, it feels good.
Well, I mean, it's already in development, right? With Prime, it's
40K?
him
Oh,
and
what's his
40K,
name?
Yeah,
What's the dude that
Henry
Superman-
Cavill.
yeah, Henry Cavill.
Okay,
Yeah,
it'll be
he's
good.
doing
It's
it.
in good hands.
Oh, as you say that.
I know it's gonna be they're gonna do the same, right? He signed off on it, right? Like Matthew Lillard signed off on this movie.
No, apparently he's one of the producers, I think.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I will see.
But yes, I would definitely
Would you
watch a
watch
Warhammer movie.
Magic the Gathering.
No.
It just
I think there already is a Magic the Gathering movie, like an old one or something like that. I think there is. There's a Final Fantasy movie supposedly, but like,
that game is a movie.
yeah.
You just watch the game.
I don't know.
There's no gameplay for Final Fantasy. You just literally watch the game. Like you just sit there like, kind of like I hate to say it because it's kind of the same, but at least it's a little bit more fun in my opinion. But Metal Gear was kind of the same way, especially as you got later
The fourth
on.
one. The fourth one's all. It's all movie.
It's all movie.
They should make a Metal Gear movie.
Dude, who plays Snake?
What's that one guy? Oscar Isaac? Is that his name?
Oscar. No, what?
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Poe Dameron?
No, not even close. I hate his voice would not fit. You need somebody that's like
Right?
smoked
See
a
the guy
pack
who
of
plays
cigarettes
Poe
for like
Dameron?
every day of their life. to-
Oscar Isaac, yeah, I think he would be a good. He looks like he could be a snake.
Okay, that's okay.
Maybe they could change his voice.
I'm gonna make a point of contention right here, and this is where it's a hot take. Not even just horror movies, but just movies in general.
Uh-huh.
I hate when people cast or like fan cast other people just because they kind of look like the person. I'm like, but their personality, their voice, the way they act doesn't match anywhere near that. Just because they look like the person doesn't mean you should.
You know what they should do for Metal Gear? They should get what's his name? Who was in Escape from New York? The old
It's
movie.
an old.
I know. Hold on. Who was in Escape from New York?
So, did you watch the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
Yeah.
The Hostel Gato?
Yeah.
That character is exactly
Kurt Russell. They should get Kurt Russell and they should AI his face like they did with in Tron Legacy. They AI to make him look young, and that should be Snake. This guy's Snake. That guy's Snake.
Yeah,
that's Snake.
yeah.
Kurt Russell
That is
Snake. Kurt Russell
They
Snake.
missed their chance. They missed their boat on that.
He's Snake.
He's
He
Snake.
looks like Snake.
But who
yeah.
would be Liquid Snake?
Kurt Russell with blonde hair.
With blonde. who would be Raiden?
Oh.
Kurt Russell. No.
Kurt Russell shades his own with Kurt Russell. It'd be what's his name? Timothy Charlemagne.
No, that's it. He would start singing.
I don't know who'd be Raiden.
Hey, Wonka was a good movie. Come on.
I never saw it.
But you saw Joker Part 2.
I didn't see Joker Part 2 either. I haven't seen it yet.
I saw the ticket. It was in his pocket.
That
It was two tickets. He watched it twice. He started singing.
That's bad.
He did the sing along at the Alamo Draft House.
That's the
awful.
And he did the dance.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No, it looks bad. I see it on like social media. Will pop up. But people just trash.
I think it's hitting like digital on demand
Already?
Like
No, what-
October
there's another
20.
movie that-
I'll probably watch it.
There's another movie that just hit digital on demand, and we were like, really? It was only out for like a month. I forgot what it was. It was actually kind of like a bigger movie. I just don't remember what it was.
There's a high chance that Terrifier makes more than Joker did domestically.
I think it. I
Not yet. Not yet. I don't know. It dropped
By
off
the end
like
of its run.
50%. It was 18 million, right? The first weekend, opening weekend.
Who?
Terrifier.
Yeah.
18 million.
19.
I think they're at 21, 22.
24, I
I think
thought.
24.
Domestically? I think they're already at like 36, 37.
Nah. There's a drop off.
I know
There's a
globally
50%
they're at
drop
40
off.
something.
Oh, globally you say.
Domestically, I swear they're at like 30 something.
While he looks that up, do you have any other points to defend this awful movie?
Yeah, you put us through that.
Yeah, you did put us through that, and you gave it a 6. That's above average.
That's above average.
That's above. Like you gotta have some pros.
I
Like
think it's
So-
entertaining. It's above average.
what?
So far, it's grossed. Terrifier 3 has grossed $41.6 million.
That's a lot.
Oh,
That's a good
man.
amount.
What is it domestically?
Probably 20 something.
$1.
I'm gonna say right here, if you don't defend it well enough, we're gonna boot you and we're gonna find another fourth.
No.
Bring Amanda back.
Bring him in.
No, we boot her.
Shit, then we boot her instantly.
I think Ida's next up.
No, it's gonna be Joy, but we already agreed upon it. So Mito's wife does not like horror movies whatsoever.
She does not.
I
I
think
have
she's
to, I
the
have to
only
watch
one-
all of these by myself.
She's the only one in our whole circle that does not watch it, and so I think what did we say it was gonna be? We're gonna have like a little like a not even a skit. It's just like what would you call it? An event? No. Like basically a whole thing where how long
like
can she
Joyce
make it
Cameron.
through? Yeah, where how long she makes it through a movie before she just walks out and she's like, no, I'm not watching this. And so like
gotta show
that will
her
determine
fire.
how good the movie is and how long she can stay in it.
You gotta show it.
Her thing. So now we're talking about Joyce. Her thing is that she doesn't have problems watching the movies. It's afterwards where she has to like think about what's going
Why
on.
she gets scared.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like
That happens. Any other defense?
Go right now.
Real quick, Terrifier 3 is at 38 million domestically.
Domestic's not
the
bad.
guy likes his box office
He
numbers.
likes his, yeah.
I think.
All right, we'll keep you just because you're the numbers guy.
So anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's did 200 million more than Willy's.
I guess that's its pro, right? That's it.
It made money.
It grossed more.
But here's the problem: the fact that it grossed more, and I thought it was received about like 50-50. I think if I remember correctly, there was a lot of people that did say they liked it. Like,
Five Nights
you
at
know,
Freddy's?
Yeah, there was quite a few people.
Yeah,
that
there were a
did.
lot of people who liked it.
The audience score
Really?
is really good. The critic score is really bad.
But
Yeah.
I will say,
Why did they like it?
I don't know.
What did they say was good about it? We need a.
I think it's
It's average. That's crazy.
That's the thing. Here's the thing. I think people liked it because they're just so deep within that lore that they almost like feel like they have to like it. Like I don't know.
See, that's the thing, right?
like
Like
you have to defend it.
that's not.
I know
that's not a good
exactly
reason.
what you're talking about, right? It's the same. I love Star Wars.
Yeah,
I hate 7, 8, and 9. It's 7, 8, and 9. I like 8, but that's besides the point. 8 is considered the worst of the 3. Anyways,
But you like it?
I do.
Is it because Ben Swallow takes off his shirt?
No.
It's like,
More.
But I had that same argument when A Force Awakens had come out, that everybody was loving it and everybody thought it was the greatest movie ever, and I was like, no, it's not good.
Which one's that one?
It's
First
the
one.
seventh one.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Which is a pretty
Yes,
good
I understand
movie.
what you're saying about people like.
That will defend with their lives because they have. Like, they almost feel like they have to because they have
Yes.
to accept.
That's not a good reason though, and you know what? I think that is exactly what this is because this is not a good movie. Come on, like objectively, this is not a good movie.
It's not.
Like
The
Even
film
if-
quality though. the
Even
film quality.
like the quality's like okay at best. There's nothing okay. There's nothing in
It didn't
the-
look like a YouTube movie.
It didn't look like a YouTube movie, but even then, like the filmography of it, there's nothing
What
special
was their
about the
budget?
filmography.
Tell me their budget.
I didn't see anything. It was probably a lot.
Tell me their budget.
It's Blumhouse. It was
What
probably
20 million.
It was probably
No, it was not. It is not 20.
It was 20 million.
Is he sure?
I'm sure.
Look
It-
up that number.
There's nothing
I'll check
special
this
about the film, like the filmography, the cinematography of the movie. And I'm
You're
one of
right.
those
There's nothing.
There's
creative.
nothing creative about it. They could have done something, right? They could have
20 million.
I don't know. Like I really don't know what this movie had like going for it.
I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, I don't even know if you could defend it with like, oh, but it's so cool if you know about this and this, then you're. I'm
That
like,
makes it worse.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you know about the actual lore, it makes the movie worse.
That's what Adam's wife was saying. That like she actually knows about the lore, so that's why she.
she was
Can.
just
Yeah.
like, that's kinda
I know
thing.
nothing about the lore,
I
so
don't-
And
like,
maybe that's what makes. Maybe that could make the movie better for you if you know nothing
there's
about
nothing
it.
to compare it to.
They have nothing to compare it to, but it's like
Yeah.
you know.
But people were defending it. Oh yeah, it's a great movie. This and that. Much.
But why?
I did. You see, we only watched this movie because I said it would be better than Willy, so I feel like I have to stand on that.
It's alright. You could change your mind. We're an hour into it. You can change your mind.
I'm staying with
Are you
the
gonna sell
6 out of
this?
10.
You're gonna sell this platform and lie to the people. I'm like, so here. check it.
5.1 out.
I didn't
5.1.
I didn't want to tell you this, but I actually have Nicolas Cage out here right outside. I want you to sit here and tell him to his face.
He comes with the sunglasses, right? He doesn't even
No
say anything,
talking.
right? No talking, and you're like, your movie is bad.
That would be
and then just one tear, right? One tear goes down, and he turns and he walks out.
He breaks the broom and just.
I will say, if Nicolas Cage's performance in that was like, I'll call it a 9 out of 10. He was really committed. The best performance in this movie is probably like a 3 or 2, like individual.
Yeah. I see
Doug
what you're
was
saying.
You know, the
best.
more we talk
Doug was
about
the
it,
best. It's really bad movie.
It
Like
wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't.
I really like.
And that's again saying much because I enjoy watching just media and movies in general. But like, if it feels like a chore,
This guy
then-
loves Ginger Dead Man. Like,
Ginger
the
Dead Man.
the OG one with Gary Busey.
did you like Blood and Honey too? Let's talk
No,
about
I did not like that. Actually, you know what?
No, please, why did you say that?
So,
No.
spoiler alert, the movie we're picking for next week, because it's my choice, because Jordan wants it so badly, because they have not watched it, is Blood and Honey 2.
Is the movie at least short like the first one?
Yeah, that's fair.
Do
It's
I
like
have
an
to
hour
watch the
long.
first one to understand
No.
this one?
They,
No.
they watched the first one in the second
Yeah,
one.
watch the first one and the second one.
I did watch it. I was the one who sent that text that was like, bro, who the said this movie's
Oh,
good?
the second one?
Yes.
No, I
You didn't
said.
get my text? You got
No,
my text?
I said that I spoiled the line, the one line. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Is poo and tie. I said I was in the theater dying. I was like, yeah. But then that movie was also bad.
Now I gotta sit through another hour of agonizing pain. Like Five Nights at Freddy wasn't enough, right? Now I gotta do
That was
this.
2 hours.
It
That
was
was 2 hours.
It's a slight improvement from the first
You
one.
know-
That's not saying much.
It's an
That
hour 40.
oh my god.
Hey, it's not 2 hours and 10 minutes. Like, and it saves you half an hour.
It's not, what is it? The 2
And you know
hours,
what? Here's the
20
thing.
minutes,
And here's the
25
thing. Here's the thing. All right, we're gonna say it because we have to unfortunately watch it. I'm gonna say that unfortunately because while it did at one point in its inception period of like, oh, it's gonna be interesting because they have a whole Avengers series planned for the entire Disney universe that is basically like not copyright anymore. Like they have it all planned out. Like the movies are already being made. They have a timeline. They
I
already
think they have a
have.
Steamboat Willie one, right?
That's a different.
That's a different company,
Oh.
but they have like it's called the Pooverse, okay?
Oh
and
my
so
God.
there's
Peter
a
Pan
whole
one coming.
there's a Peter Pan one. There's a whole series of
The
movies
Peter
coming out.
Pan one, I think, has the trailer already. Is it
No,
that one or
no,
the Mad
Bambi,
Hatter?
no, Bambi came out.
Oh, okay.
Bambi, and so we have to watch that because at some point somebody's gonna recommend one of those movies, and we have to get ready for the Pooverse.
It's called the Pooniverse. Somebody
The
point.
Pooniverse.
Somebody
Pooniverse.
point. I got the whole.
The Pooniverse.
Bambi, Peter Pan, Pinocchio.
Okay, Pinocchio could be cool. Okay, I'll admit. They're not gonna make it good, but they could have made it good.
Pinocchio Unstrung. The final movie is called Pooniverse Monsters Assemble.
Oh my god!
So ready.
Bro, there's a whole lot.
Looks like the Avengers text!
Oh! If you look at the P, like I'll pull it up over
It's
here
the
so you
A?
can see it up close, yeah.
Oh my god.
We're gonna have to watch it.
I don't want to watch that shit.
I don't want to either, but we kind of have to.
Did you ever do Blood and Honey 1?
No.
Okay, see, we're gonna have to revisit all of them.
No, we'll just do 2. I don't think you need to watch 1.
I'm standing on a 6 out of 10. I'm saying.
I don't think I can sit through 1 again. I can maybe sit through 2.
See how the P
That's bad.
is like the A from the Avengers.
It's so stupid. But we can save this talk for when we actually watch it, because I guess we have to watch it, right? Going back to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Final words.
I guess, right, we're at this point, right? We all agree the movie's bad. There's not much going on for it.
Yeah,
They
I
really
agree.
butchered it. You have one final chance right now to change your
I
score.
can't think of any pros. You tell me.
Be honest with your
I
score.
want you to get on camera and see
Yeah,
that.
actually stand right here and give your score.
All closer.
Yeah, get right there.
I think the aesthetic of the place is.
That wasn't even look.
It's a
There's
nice
no
set.
aesthetic, It's just a room.
Like, yeah, they didn't even do it. They could have done so much with like the place too, right? Like,
The only cool effect was when they walked in for the final act and the like lights lit up and it was like.
that was cool. Okay, you know what? Okay, I got one pro. William Afton's costume was pretty cool. I will give it that. I like the eyes. I thought it was a really
And
good
then
costume.
they-
That was about it.
I'm working against my best interest. I was gonna say, and then they didn't do shit with it. He was just like.
They didn't. They did. It was a cool costume, but they didn't really.
Imagine that in the Nicolas Cage battle.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool.
I
don't know.
I think Willie's was better. Now that you're talking.
It took an hour convincing, but it finally. It's not a good movie. Like it. I really wanted to like this movie, and because like I said, I'm like, it's cool. I'm a horror video game fan first, right? Like, and then to see things like this happen, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. I really want stuff like this to work, and it's just so disappointing that it doesn't. But I don't know what I was expecting when I saw that Blumhouse was producing it. Like,
Hey, we're getting a second chance at it.
Hey, you're getting the Megan too.
Oh my god.
Hey, Megan was good.
Megan was not good. Megan was not
Megan was kind of like
Megan was
Megan.
not good. No, that was.
And it might have been in my top 10 for last year.
What
Honestly.
the hell? Alright, your opinion is valid. I don't know. Again, I guess this, right, we're in the closing thoughts, right? Again, this is it. I really wanted to like the movie. I didn't like the movie. It was bad. Won't ever watch it again unless I'm forced to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think
I can't watch it. It's
and that's
short.
that's saying something because I don't think there's very many movies that are like that. Like I know there's sometimes where like I don't feel like watching this genre right now. Or this movie's okay, but I don't think I can sit through that. But it just, man, they're just. I don't know how you can defend it. I think that's my big thing is how people could like be like, this is actually a really good movie. Like I don't know. Sometimes I'm a big difference in opinion person too. Like I totally get everybody has their own things that they love, right? And especially like I know a lot of tastes differ from mine, so again, perfectly fine with that. But I don't know. I don't know how you like you're saying objectively defend this movie as a good movie. I don't see it either. It bothers me almost that I'm like. It kind of irks me that like that's a thing. Like I don't know. I feel like there's other.
It just goes back to what he's saying. People are defending it because they really just love fucking Five Nights at Freddy's, and they're just gonna defend anything that like they're gonna defend anything Five Nights at Freddy's, regardless of what it is, right? It could have been like the shittiest. It could have been worse, right? And they probably still would have defended it because it's Five Nights at Freddy's. So
I feel like that's how it is with like Zack Snyder movies. Like you have to sometimes defend it because people like hate on Zack Snyder because it's like easy to hate on him because of Justice League. They're like, oh, a terrible movie, and then obviously Batman, Superman. I thought that was okay. I didn't think it was the greatest movie, but I thought it was okay.
I never seen those. Oh, I listened to Justice League actually. I never saw the Snyder Cut.
I like the Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut's really good. It was way better. But I can kind of see that because I am in that boat for that movie. I will also throw out there that if any game deserves an adaptation for a movie, but it needs to be done right because I'm scared they're gonna ruin it. And there's been rumors that they.
That's everybody's thing. That's what everybody says about that.
No. I think BioShock deserves.
Okay, yes.
Yes, and you should not. And there's no way you can mess that one up because
You can mess that one
there's
up.
even a book. They already came with a prequel book. You could literally just take that book and set up the
I think
game.
is what it's called.
Yeah,
And they're
I
not
have
gonna
that
do
book.
that.
They're not gonna do that. They're gonna look at this. They're gonna be like, "We're gonna do our own thing."
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I like
But-
though that with that game, you have a lot of lore that actually is lore. It's not just made up Five Nights at Freddy.
They're
You
gonna fuck it up.
read a piece of paper and
They're
like.
gonna be like Andrew Ryan. The big daddies are the sons of Andrew Ryan.
Although that-
the little sisters are the daughters.
I'm gonna throw out there too. I know you're a big fan of Silent Hill and some of those games. I don't keep up with the lore with games where I have to read a bunch of stuff. Like if I or especially when you run around and you shoot stuff and then you pick up a piece of paper and it's like January 23rd, I ate an apple and then there was a demon in the window. And then and then you have to remember that and it's like 10 hours later. It's like the 10th day I'm playing this game and then it's like, oh, I'm supposed to remember this letter I got from like 10 hours ago and barely has. I'm like,
You know what game that is? That's Dark Souls. There's
Souls.
no
it's-
cutscenes, no nothing. It's all
It's
just pick up
figured.
items. The whole lore comes from just picking up the items. You have to read. That's the worst example of that. At least with Silent Hill, you
That
have
game though,
cutscenes.
you literally don't even have they don't even give you here's where you need to go and here's like a mission that you're on. There, you accept the mission without even realizing it, and if you forgot about it, well, too bad. Like Elden Ring, there's so many. It was like, yeah, when you meet this guy, you're supposed to actually listen and do this. I'm like, what? And if you don't do it,
I mean, that's part of the appeal, right? It's like there's no cutscenes, so everything flows seamlessly. It's like you're actually on your own adventure, right? And then everything you're figuring out is from like, But I mean, you're playing a video game. You want your handheld, right? Like sometimes.
So then Adam said that he wants BioShock to be in a
BioShock,
movie. What
yes.
video game do you want to be turned into a movie?
Oh man, one that already hasn't come out yet. Because I'd
Yes.
rather fix Silent Hill. Damn, I'll come back. You play video games?
Do you play video games?
That's a good segue into our closing thoughts. Jordan, closing thoughts,
I was
and
gonna say I don't know if I have one.
A game.
it's okay. And
He wants an Animal Crossing movie with Danny DeVito.
Make me a Call of Duty.
Oh, that's just every
Hey.
war movie, right?
I want a Fortnite video.
Oh,
You know what? You know what?
I would watch it. They just leaned into the Fortnite of everything.
Here's what we do.
With Jack Black.
Let's write a screenplay and let's
sell it to Epic.
Dude, it would make millions. Even it could be the worst movie ever. You know,
Fortnite. We'll give it to Netflix because they accept everything, right? They accept
No,
everything.
Tubi accepts everything.
We can do it. We'll do
We'll
that.
have in the back at least one point every single skin that's in the game shows up. So we'll see a team of Goku, Michael Myers,
Yeah.
Naruto. No, sorry,
Basically,
Darth
that
Vader and Eminem.
Basically,
Yes,
you're
that,
talking about.
I would watch that. I'm not
You're
even
just talking
lying.
about Ready
It has to be- it has to be
Player
real
One,
Eminem
but with
too.
more steps. That's just Ready Player One, but stupid.
I would watch it. I would watch
Maybe
it.
it's good. That movie was ass.
Hey, the book is good.
Ready Player One.
I've never seen the
I don't
movie.
I
even
believe
remember.
you that
I
the
don't
book
remember.
was good. I have not. The movie was awful. I fell asleep during it.
Honestly, I don't remember it too
No, I
much.
didn't pay
I thought it was like okay, like it wasn't really anything.
Would you watch a
spectacular.
Spyro the Dragon movie?
Yeah, well, animated.
You want a real dragon?
There is it's Jack Black in a costume. I don't know. I don't know what I would want.
Just make a Dead by Daylight movie.
Oh, okay, that would be kind of cool, but they have to do it right.
But they just had to have the original ones. I would if they did it, I would want the nurse. I think that would be the scariest. Or I guess they do it 2 or 3 characters, but the nurse would be good. I feel like it would give Cabin in the Woods vibes because there'd just be so many other characters that don't really
They
shouldn't
could-
go together.
They could do that. It would be really cool, right? Like they would make they would have like this I don't know, this kind of lore build in like the first half of it or whatever, and then like something happens.
And
They
have
get,
the mash.
they get
Did the monster mash.
that's the word they dance in it. I don't know. That'd be cool, but
And I don't want Freddy Krueger, I want Freddy Fazbear.
I thought his name was Fozzie Fazbear.
Fozzie.
Oh, you might be right.
It's Freddy.
Closing thoughts.
Yeah, closing thoughts. I know we kept you from.
See, I didn't have the problem y'all had where like it wasn't a struggle for me to get through it. So like I still found it enjoyable. I don't think it was as fun
It's not
as like
fun.
lighthearted and as fun as Willy's was.
Yeah.
But I'm standing by my 6 out of 10. I think You know, I don't know anything about the video game lore, or I didn't until now.
Yeah.
When you mention the video game lore, it makes me realize that they could have gone a bunch of different ways.
They could have.
did
They could have really did.
Ultimately, I didn't think it was a bad movie. I know y'all did. I found it enjoyable.
Would you watch it again?
Yeah, I watched it again today.
But would you watch it again?
Would I watch it
for a third time? That's how you know. Would you watch Willie's? Would you watch Willie's again?
I would watch it. I'll watch this one again right before number 2 comes out. When I go to number 2 dressed
Willie's
up.
and then go number 2.
You're not gonna even fit in the seat dressed up in the big old animatronic suit.
And was it Jim the Gorilla suit?
Jim the Gorilla.
Or no, Gus is Gus the Gorilla.
Jim the Gorilla.
That's so bad.
I figured out what movie. Dead Space movie. That would be good.
That's face.
That would be really
that just
really
alien
good.
but with extra steps.
Not really.
No.
It's kind of, I mean, if you like.
Space.
If you boil it down, maybe, right? If you
Yeah.
if you strip off all the details and
There's definitely
Very-
inspiration
yeah.
from Alien.
Dead Space movie, that'd be good, right? That'd be good.
I still think Bioshock would be the best.
No, it would. It would.
Because
I
you have
agree.
the Big Daddy murder.
So closing thoughts for myself. I didn't enjoy this movie. I feel like we spent the whole episode saying why we didn't. So I'm not gonna harp on it some more.
I am.
So a game that I think would be funny to see as a movie would be Among Us.
Oh.
Among Us.
Oh,
I
God.
think they would make it.
They would make that too.
And it'd be the same audience that watched this movie. That's
They'd
That's a good
be
one.
10 years younger.
Yeah.
But to see an Among Us movie,
And they say sus all the time.
your boy Drew, he'd be first in line.
And
That's a good idea.
They do
I'm with
the,
Is it the inflatable suit? Yeah.
that's all it is, right? It's just them. It's a live action them in the inflatable suit, right?
Green did it.
You know what? Actually,
With Danny DeVito.
with Danny DeVito, there's like
Just
one
paint
super
him.
short.
Don't put him in the suit. Just paint
He's
him
gonna be the only
whatever
one
color.
not in a suit.
Would you be upset if there was a serious movie that they made and it was like a space horror? They set it up as that, and then as you were going through the movie, you realized that it was just Among Us all along.
No,
The thing-
was it good? Was the movie good?
I don't know.
You said it was you said it's a serious.
You just described the movie The Thing.
The thing, yeah.
That is Among Us, I guess, right?
Yeah.
That is technically
Everybody
Among
like
Us.
leaves up.
Nobody hit like God of War, Halo.
Halo's
Maybe a Forza movie.
Halo's a series actually, and I heard it was bad. I never watched
I'm
it.
pretty sure. Did it get canceled after season 2 or something?
I thought it was still going.
I think.
No? I thought it
I
was
feel like God of War would do better as another TV show. There's just too much of it. Didn't Ratchet and Clank? They came out with animated
I
movies,
think
right?
they did, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff. It'll really help us out. We'd really appreciate it. The next movie is Adam's pick. I know you already mentioned it earlier, Adam, but what are we watching next time?
Blood and Honey 2.
All right, so tune in next time for Blood and Honey 2. Until then, y'all have a good day.
That was pretty good. I enjoyed that.